Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin from Florals.com, and today we have one of the second to last episodes of Summer of Stories. Yes, it is coming to an end rather quickly here, but I'm really happy with how the series turned out, and so are you guys. Don't forget you can always go back and look through the playlist if you're looking for inspiration for something specific. But today is episode Y, which again is another hard letter. If you guys didn't tell, these last few times have been harder letters. But I decided to go with a food theme for this episode. So here I have this red and pink like splattered background paper that I pulled out, and that's from Jen Hadfield Everyday Collection. I really love that paper pad. If you guys haven't seen me work with it before, I have used it quite a few times on my channel. What I really love about this paper is that it's so fun and festive, and like I said, I'm doing food photos here, and I think this sort of reminds me of, like, I don't know, baking or, frosting. That's sort of what the background reminded me of. And I pulled out this paper that's a bunch of alphabet letters, and this was from the Heidi Swapp Magnolia collection, and I decided to use that as my title, so I cut out the letters Y, U, and M to spell yum. And then I also have this paper from One Canoe 2 that I pull out, and it's like a nice goldeny yellow color, which sort of remind me of the French fries in the photo or the tortilla there at the top. And I just thought it went well with the color scheme. It's a very unique color scheme, this pink reds and then that, goldeny yellow color. I just think it's really interesting, and I decided to go for it. And if you guys didn't know, I was working with an embellishment kit this month for my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit. I did not pair 12 by 12 papers with it, so I had a lot of flexibility with color schemes and for different types of projects I could do. But I'm really looking forward to working with September's kit and on the September projects I plan on sharing with you guys. But if you guys haven't subscribed already, definitely do so you can stay up to date with me in September and finish out the Summer of Stories series strong here while it's ending. And don't forget that you can get the free downloads over on my blog. Every time I've uploaded a video this summer, I had a free blog post or a free download over on my blog so you guys could get some summer story inspiration. I did have a few questions about this series. Now, some people thought that these were all going into the same album. They are not. These are just different stories that I've been putting off telling. These are photos that I've had sitting around for a while, and they all follow an alphabet list so that I'm moving through different types of projects and not getting bored working on the same projects. So that's kind of what I was trying to do with this series, was to tell the stories I've been neglecting to tell or have been avoiding telling, and sort of finally getting them on paper. And some of these were really fun to scrapbook, and other ones I thought were quite the struggle. So I'm really happy to have all of these in albums, actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, storytelling. And yeah, I'm really excited with how much I got done. And then at the end of the month here, end of August, I will be doing the Kill a Kit video so you guys can see all the layouts I've made this month. And I've really enjoyed this month particularly. Here I decide that these papers also need to be matched on the right hand side of the photos. So I'm going to split these this 6x6 again, so now I have quarters, and I'll be putting two lines of them, one line on the left side of the photos and then one strip on the right side of the photos. That way I have a nice little, border so the photos really pop from the background. And what I really like about this particular pattern mixed with the background pattern is that the background pattern is quite large, and then this light yellowy color paper is a smaller pattern, so it kind of balances each other out from the large to the small. And you'll also notice here that I'm only putting adhesive on the left hand side of the photos. That way I can tuck the other strips of pattern paper much more easily under the right hand side to put those into place. That way I get the spacing that I want, and that way I don't have to accidentally cover up things that I didn't want to cover up. And those will lay down just nicely there. And you also saw me pull out the title, just the Y, U, and M from those cut aparts, and I did put those on foam adhesive. I thought that would be a good choice to do for this. And another thing you guys might not know if you haven't been keeping up with me this month is that I am doing stamps as my focus. So every layout this month I have stamped on in some way or another, and this layout is no exception. And I really enjoy the stamping that I do on this layout, and I think you guys will too. But first, before we get to the stamping, I have to finish embellishing. I pull out this red washi tape, just a plain red, and sort of layer that under my title just so it gets a little bit more of a horizontal shelf to sit on, because I thought it was kind of free floating there and kind of blending into the background, so that red really makes it pop. Here I'm pulling out 2 stamp sets. I have an Ellie Studio Food stamp set from the Let's Eat collection, and then I have a Technique Tuesday stamp set that I've showed you guys that was part of my kit, and I pulled out the word today. Now I have never used this stamp before, so I was prepping it on my arm by rubbing it off just in case there's any residue on the stamp from the manufacturing process. So I'm going to stamp this in black ink. Now when you're stamping, I always off stamp first just to double check, but also make sure you move everything out of the way that could bother your stamping. So those 3 letters there are on foam adhesive, and I knew they were taller than my block would be, or my stamp would be. So I moved those out of the way before stamping so that it wouldn't ruin my stamping. Because when you're stamping on your background, it's very nerve-wracking, but if you prep in advance, you know, move things out of the way, you know, pace yourself through it so it doesn't, you know, you're not rushing it or anything like that, it'll work out better in the long run. So I did today, it's essentially going to say today yum, which doesn't make any sense, but I still like how it turned out. It's just going to be like a cluster of stamping and some stickers to really build out this right hand side. And I really like how the focus is on the food still, even though there's a lot going on here on the right hand side. So I just stamped that one from Ellie Studio that says Let's Eat with a little fork under it because I think that's adorable. And I don't think I mentioned it, but these are photos from our trip to Kingston, Canada, and I thought that was really fun. And then here's where I get the great idea to actually finish off my title. So now it says on the menu today, yum, which obviously I'd want a comma in there, but I really like how it turned out anyway, and I like that they're stamping in the title, but it's also some cut aparts, you know, it's just some random stuff. And I would say this came easily to me, but I did plan a little bit off camera. I try to do that sometimes in order to get, you know, a better layout in mind. I definitely pulled out my background paper beforehand because otherwise I could spend hours just sitting here doing that part of it alone. And then here I pull out a roller date stamp, but this is a roller phrase stamp. Now I can't 100% remember which one I pulled out, but I do stamp it a couple times. Adele used to do this a lot on her pages with her roller stamp. She would, you know, sort of have those shadow stamps beneath it. I think it says remember this or that was rad. I can't remember which one I put on which section. But I'm even going to stamp again on the left-hand side here, which was very nerve-wracking for me because I hate stamping with roller stamps. I don't buy them anymore, and I only have a few, but I do try to use them every so often just to get, you know, a little bit more fun stuff on my page. So I really like how the stamping turned out. I like the contrast it brings to the page. Here I'm just going to glue down my little title there, just a cute yum. And I do have a label sticker in there as well. That'd be a good place for journaling or for more embellishing. And I always put extra adhesive on everything. It's just like a habit of mine that I always, you know, follow through with. But this layout was very quickly to put together because how much space the photos took up. I think that made it very, very easy. And then I know that there are some phrase stickers in my sticker book here from Jen Hadfield, so I'm looking through that to try to find something that will work. I found a little banner that I put on the left-hand cluster. And as you can tell, this isn't a traditional scrapbooking, you know, design where there's 3 clusters and, you know, the photos are in the center or anything like that. It's just kind of, I'm just winging it, which is what usually happens. I thought about using some of these. I really like the contrast that the phrase stickers brought. I think they're not totally black. I don't know if you can tell. And I think I put one on there that says Find Your Tribe, which is interesting, but I put one here and then one on the other side. Or no, I don't. I don't keep that one. It's hard to remember what I did. I filmed this quite a bit ago, but I'm really, really excited with how this turned out. But that's pretty much it for this layout. I'm going to do one last thing, and that was adding some final touches, including this little mug here. So this is a mug from the Pink Fresh Studio enamel set, Life is Sweet, and I figured mug goes with food, etc. So I put it on there. And then I grabbed some of these Pink Fresh Studio enamel dots. But that is it for this layout, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I always want to know what you guys think of my pages. If there's other things you'd like to see or me talk about during these process videos, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you scrapbook your food photos. I don't always, but it's usually when we're on vacation that I take a lot of food photos. But I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!